Today in this blog we are going to study about the cell membrane. We are knowing that it is the outermost covering of the cell. You have studied in the junior class also. It functions as a protective layer, outermost protective layer in the animal cell, isn't it? So now we are in the senior class, so we need to have some detailing of it. So cell membrane, there were so many scientists who came and tried to give their theory about the cell membrane and tried to give their different structure, but the most accepted one which we study today is the fluid mosaic model. This is the fluid mosaic model which is given by the Singer and Nicholson in year 1972. Okay, known as the fluid mosaic model. If we see the model, then it is having two layers of lipid here. Two layers of lipid is present. Bilayer lipids are present, and this lipid is having two portion, that is the head portion is there and the tail portion is here. Okay, tail is actually hydrophilic. Tail is hydrophilic, whereas head is hydrophobic. Hydrophobic. Philic means student, philic means loving. Philic means loving and hydro means water. So this tail portion is water loving, means they can dissolve in water, but head, that is hydrophobic, that is having a phobia with the water, so it cannot dissolve in the water. So that the term is there. So Singer and Nicholson were the scientists who gave the fluid mosaic model in the year 1972. Okay, after the electron microscope discovery was there, because it is the basic complex structure which cannot be viewed under the microscope. So with the invention of electron microscope after the year 1950, this discovery took place. Right, student? Next is the, if you see the structure here, lipid structure is there, bilayer is there, and in the middle you can see this proteins are being embedded in the mid. Alright, so lipid portion are written here, head and tail portion is there. Head is hydrophobic and tail is hydrophilic. Now this lipid is composed of phosphoglyceride. Student, do remember the term here, phosphoglyceride. The lipid is made up of phosphoglyceride. Okay. Peripheral protein, two proteins are found. Some proteins are found on the surface of the membrane. Okay, some proteins are on the surface of the membrane. So those type of protein is clearly visible through the electron microscope, and that is known as the peripheral protein, whereas some proteins are embedded in the between of the membrane. So that is known as, or we can say embedded or buried in the membrane. Okay, so that is known as the integral protein. So two varieties of protein are there. Okay, peripheral and integral protein. So I think this topic is clear to you, and this is the model for the fluid mosaic. Function is there, and actually this is the function for the transportation. We are knowing one of the common function, that is the protective layer, function as a protective layer because it is the outermost covering or outermost envelope. But here we can see two type of transportation is there, active transportation and passive transportation. Student, we know that the substances move across the plasma membrane because cells do require the material or nourishment or nutrition for the basic functioning, okay, or for the metabolic activity. But on the contrary also, it is giving out the substances which is a waste material, that is exited out. So this is processed by the two type of transportation. Active transportation is there and passive transportation is there. We already know about the diffusion and osmosis. One of the transportation is based on the diffusion and osmosis, that depends on the concentration gradient. As you know the definition, diffusion, that is the movement of substances from higher concentration to lower concentration. We know that through this plasma membrane, the exchange of gases, the exchange of water molecules and the ions also takes place. So here the gases move across through with the help of the passive transportation, because that depends on the concentration gradient, as well as the water molecules too depend on this. Depend on the concentration gradient, that is the movement of substances from higher concentration to lower concentration. Okay, so passive transportation here does not require energy. In the passive transportation, the energy is not required because it depends on the concentration gradient of the molecules or the substances or gases, we can say. So simple diffusion takes place or simple osmosis takes place, that is movement of substances from higher concentration to lower concentration. And that depends, this diffusion depends on the concentration gradient. Okay. On the contrary, active transportation, here the transportation or exchange of material taking place, basically it depends, in this one the exchange of ions take place. So that does not depend on the concentration gradient but depends on the energy. As much energy will be there, that much the transportation will be there, or the moving across process will take place. If the energy is not there, then no transportation will be there. Okay. So here in active transportation, this requires energy in the form of ATP. We are doing ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate. So this is the kind of energy which is required for the active transportation or for the exchange of material. So it does not depend on the concentration gradient because this depends on the energy. So this does not depend on the concentration gradient, just like the passive transportation. So example is sodium potassium pump. We will study in the further chapter, student, in detail about the sodium potassium pump. So this is the example. Here the example can be the exchange of the gases or the exchange of water molecules. Okay student, I hope this portion is clear. Next I will explain you further.